Let's take a look the 10 best practice. Okay, 10 best practice. So in order to have a good architecting, well architect, the first thing, think about scalability. All right, sometimes uh, it's not failure, it's just because you're doing your business too well, all right, too good. So you got more and more traffic. Make sure that your architecture would be able to scale. Okay, think about before we talk about load balancer. Okay, can the load balancer scale out, scale up, and then you got web application. Let's say, okay, so can they scale? Can the database scale? Many customer at the first year they use the database no problem. However, after half year, 2 year, then they start having some database performance issue. How can we do that to scale? If you're already using containerized application, Kubernetes, microservice, serverless, also think about scalability. And then automate. Automate is also very important. I will say not just important, it's the key of using AWS Cloud. Uh, I got many customers, they got more than hundreds of application project in the cloud. If we provision everything manually, all right, yeah, it takes a long time and human will do many error. All right, so if ask an IT admin to create 10 machine, no problem. If you ask him to create 1,000 machine, likely some typo, something wrong. So we better use automate to create everything. In AWS, we have a service called CloudFormation. We can make it infrastructure as code. Okay, so we use code to create everything, every single resources, no matter this is VPC or EC2, RDS, load balancer, or API gateway, Lambda. We use codes to build, and then we can also use the code to update to remove those things. So automate is also very important. And then use disposable resources. What does that mean? It means that if you are not using this, then you better terminate those machines. Not just EC2, but also think about the database. You may have replica. Okay. Before we talk about the RDS database, right? You can create a standby machine. Okay, so if this guy goes down, standby comes up. But the standby machine, you cannot do anything. You here you can read and write. Here it's just standby. You can create something called read replica. For read replica, we can have read only traffic for report, for analytic. So if you're doing the report for 8 hours a day, after that 8 hours terminate. Okay, 9 to 5, 9:01 you terminate this machine. All right, so that you save 16 hours of the cost. So this is kind of example, disposable resources. If you are using EC2, originally you have 10 virtual machine EC2, maybe nighttime you have only 2 or 3, still would be able to serve those demand. So think about the cloud resources, especially compute resources. Uh, yeah, disposable, temporary. Loosey couple. I see so many cases. They do not do it very well in many projects. Think about in your on-prem environment, you may have server, right? The server may have compute and storage resources. Compute is just CPU memory. Storage is the hard disk, all right? Normally, in your on-prem environment, you store the data there and then use these compute resources. However, as we mentioned before, in AWS, we got so many database service or storage service. We store somewhere else so that we can easily terminate the machine because we don't store the data inside those server. All right, so This is kind of decouple, and there are many other decouple. Break it down to microservice, to not make it not tight couple solution. All right, so and then we can use service rather than server. All right, many people when they start using AWS, they use EC2, but after that, think about any serverless technology. Serverless means we don't need to handle those server, and then almost we don't have any provision time for that service. Just I show you S3 is kind of serverless service. Uh, the first button I click is create bucket, and then almost immediately I can upload the data there. All right. So the most important is your customer, your user, happy with your infra, your system. They will not care about what you are using underlying. All right. So we can use the managed service to offload the heavy lifting. All right, so let's take a look on another point. Choose the right database solution. Uh, I can say originally Amazon also used Oracle, all right, 20, 15 years before. But if you go to YouTube or Google search, in the year 2019, they shut down the last Oracle server because they by using AWS, many purpose-built database. Okay, if I just name it, we have relational database, RDS for relational data. We have DynamoDB for NoSQL. We have Elasticache, Neptune, DocumentDB, Redshift. We have more than 10 managed database for different purpose. So we choose the right database solution. All right, just an example, Amazon. All right, for shopping cart, you don't need the relational. We don't need very complex query. In this case, we may consider using caching service. So this one very easy to understand. Avoid single point of failure. The region may goes down. The availability zone may goes down. The server may goes down. Any equipment could goes down. So in our architecture, we should prepare for that. Anything fail automatically comes up without any human intervention. And then optimize for cost. Cost, as we mentioned, we just talk about S3. There are so many tier, and then uh, so many consideration. Data transfer out, request, glacier, retrieval. So understanding the cost, then we can make our architecture much better. And then use caching. Use caching database. You can cache. And before we talk about a little bit on the Cloud Fund, the content delivery network. By using caching, it could be a much better uh, for your customer because they don't need to calculate, download, travel, the traffic again. So just get the result from cache is could be much faster and could be much cheaper as well. And then security. And I think for this 10 point, security is the most important because if the CSO, the security team they're not happy, we don't need to talk about anything else. So security is the top priority amongst all the architecture.
If you are interested in taking up group training, private group training for teams is also available. And the learning plans for these trainings can be customized for any AWS product or solution area to meet the training requirements that help you learn AWS from world-class certified trainers and instructors. A lack of skilled talent is one of the most common obstacles to the adoption of cloud services. And regardless of your business drivers for using AWS, skills gaps can potentially derail those outcomes. So, how do you identify and address these skill gaps quickly? Well, there is a solution, a complementary learning needs analysis from NetCom Learning and AWS training and certification. Our LNA is a free self-assessment survey that identifies AWS skills gaps and recommends organizational and individual training plans to address these gaps. The result is faster AWS skills acquisition and optimization of training investments. The AWS LNA also offers you access cloud skills and for a wide variety of roles across your organization, from developers and data scientists to managers and executives. If you're looking for unlimited training benefits with an enjoyable learning experience, then we have NetCom Learning Plus subscriptions for you. And to get unlimited access to over 500 authorized training solutions from top-notch vendors such as Microsoft, AWS, CompTIA, and more for one full year. And if you have a budget to allocate training for your team, then the Learning Passport is the right option for you. Experience the ultimate option in value and flexibility with our prepaid training package. You can manage your team's annual training needs and redeem from a range of over 4,000 courses from top-notch technology providers. We also have learning consultants who are available 24/7 to assist you with your questions or concerns. You can just email us at aws@netcomlearning.com.